Yeah. No jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I'm just kidding. This is the Cult of Personality podcast hosted by Mikeymcchoppa. Today,
Yes,
we're
sir.
digging into the creeks, crevices of the alternative music underground scene, so you don't have to. Today, I have with me today, Fauxcus. How's it
Yeah,
going?
it's going good. How are you?
I am peachy. I'm a little out of breath because I just had to make my bed, but y'all didn't see that.
Yeah.
All right. So how you doing today? All right, we're good. We're great. We're fucking scrumptious. Decent backgrounds. I
hmm
got the green light. You got the rainbow light. We chilling.
hmm
We're gonna hop right into it.
All right.
Fauxcus. We're gonna start off. I'm gonna just start off with the same question, everybody. The name, the
hmm
image, the aura, the fucking energy. Fauxcus. Where did it come from? How did we get here? Where are we right now?
Okay, so a lot like Kill Fiji, where my name came from, is embarrassing, but I gotta be brutally honest here. So basically, where the name came from was I was going through like my hardcore emo phase when I was like 15 or 14, I think. Um, and I really wanted to get my nose pierced, but my my parents wouldn't let me, and I wasn't 18. I didn't have a job, so I couldn't. So I was like, I really want my nose pierced. What do I do? And then I found out that there's like fake jewelry, like those
Yeah.
little slip-in nose rings, and
Yep.
I like got some online, and in the little package it came in, it said faux nose ring. And in case y'all didn't know, this is also really embarrassing. But like I said, gotta be honest, my old producer name was Point Dexter. And if you look in my SoundCloud link, what was that? Sorry. If you look at my SoundCloud link, it says Fauxcus dash PD, and the PD stands for Point Dexter. Because
I
that's
never
just,
knew that.
yeah, because I just, Focus was taken, and I was like, I don't know what else to put. So I just put dash PD. But then anyway, let me backtrack. It said phone nose ring. And I remember just sitting there, and and I read the word faux, and I was like, focus.
Focus.
And it
Focusing.
just came to me. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fucking
Um, yeah. So that's where the name came from. And as for the image, I don't really think I have like one defined image, because I mean, if you just look at my SoundCloud page, I mean, there's like a whole variety of things. I mean, obviously it's all pretty, I don't want to say alternative because it's not, but very, yeah, I don't know. It's just super, it's undefined. And I mean, as for the most recent stuff where I've been like working with Shallow and Undead Ronin and stuff like that, there's, a little bit more of a consistent look to it, kind of that underground kind of funk looking style. But yeah, that's kind of the image and stuff, and the name.
I
So
noticed that, and especially within like our fucking bubble, our scene, Civil Run, and even like the people close to Civil Run but outside of Civil Run. I
mhm.
noticed that a lot of us all have kind of like our own looks and auras and sounds without really any
Right.
definition, any fucking genre, any label.
Oh yeah. hmm for
Like,
sure.
I don't know what fucking bubble to put myself in, or Cam, or you,
Yeah.
or any of the sort. But
I
that's
don't even
very
think it's yeah, I don't even think it's good to put yourself in a bubble, because I don't think it's good to restrict yourself or
right.
super, like define yourself super hard. I think it's good to just be free and do what you want.
I think the only thing that can contribute to is like I feel like people might build like an easier, I guess, consistent fan base because like people
Oh
usually
yeah.
have interest in one genre, they focus in on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that being said, the name, the image, fucking, I never knew about the fucking. I knew of Point Dexter, but I didn't know the Focus PD that played
Yeah.
into each other. I never connected the
hmm
dots.
Yeah.
So in this fucking episode, I'm learning a lot about you because I feel like when me and Cam, we're already like we know each other for like
hmm
years, really
You
close.
guys are super tight. Yeah.
Exactly. You and I, we're cool and we know each other and we know each other well, but like we don't know each other like so this is cool because
Like
while
super well, yeah.
everyone's discovering about Focus, I'm also discovering about
Right.
Focus.
Yeah.
So what I want to touch on next is coming from Tacoma, right? Tacoma,
Hmm.
Washington. What was
Right.
that like? And obviously, I know like Washington has very strong musical roots when it comes to like grunge and alternative and shit. So I feel
Yeah.
like that definitely roots into like Fauxcus and the whole sound. So like, I
Hmm.
want to like get
Yeah.
into that whole connection and you coming up in Washington.
Um, well, I feel like, well, immediately when you said that, I thought of like 20 and Noved, and it just
Shout out
made,
20 and
yeah,
Novid.
shout out 20 and Noved. Yeah. And it just made me think like, God, it was kind of a miracle that we met because like ever I feel like the people who are into this specific sort of music are like actually pretty difficult to come by, and especially like let alone making that style of music is
Even rare.
yeah, exactly. So just the fact that they were from around here, it was really crazy. But yeah, I when you say like there's like deep musical connections, I mean,
Which
I don't know
everywhere
if I
has
would.
deep music
Right.
connections. But I don't know. When I thought of
Yeah.
Washington, like it was very much like grunge. I don't know
Hmm.
why. That was
Grunge.
just a
Yeah.
connection I made.
Um, well, I think of this one phase I kind of had back kind of around when COVID started. I was in a really big grunge phase and I really wanted to infuse like kind of the grungy sounding guitars and like low quality production with hip hop because there's this one album by um, Brennan Savage is called Badlands, and it was very much kind of that style. And I kind of wanted to take my music in that direction, and I did have some unreleased stuff that never came out, and I don't have it anymore. But also, if there's background noise, that's a train going by because I live by train tracks. But
All good.
um, that was like when you said grunge, that's kind of what I thought about. And I feel like vocally, I wanted to take a lot of inspiration from like Nirvana and there's this one band called I think it's Nil or let me see, look them up. They're very grunge. And where are they from? I wonder. I don't know where they're from.
I've never
But
heard of
they're
them to be honest. Nil?
yeah, yeah, NIIL. Um, I've there was just this one song by them that I was like super inspired by. It's called Insomnia, and you can very clearly hear the Nirvana inspiration in that song. But those two bands were definitely kind of an inspiration, and just kind of like you said, being in Washington and being around that scene, it was definitely influencing me. So, and yeah, yeah, it just
I,
definitely influenced me a lot.
I definitely see influence like looking from the outside in. Like even in like I
Hmm.
think some of your sound and artwork, because some of it has like
Hmm.
some of it's pumped, like especially your new stuff is a lot more funk, a lot more like high pace, but some of your stuff is a lot more,
Right.
I wouldn't even say somber or melancholy, but just a little more like
Yeah.
calm and chill.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I think of
Definitely.
Washington, I think of like it's cloudy, it's a little gloomy, but it's like it's
Hmm.
chill, it's quiet. I like
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like they very much match each other well.
Hmm.
To
Yeah.
go to go from the Washington conversation to easily translate into musical inspirations, I want to know what got you here as Fauxcus or as Point Dexter even.
Hmm.
What brought you to these points when it came to like inspirations, what music you listen to, musicians that fucking were like, oh shit, I want to do this shit.
All right. So the, I mean, obviously, I still make, like you were saying, that kind of somber, melancholic stuff. Although I kind of haven't in a while just because I've been experimenting, but that's still like my roots. That's still where I come from. But I mean, it's obviously super apparent in my older stuff that my biggest influence, starting with like alternative hip hop, was Lil Peep.
Right.
That was where I
The
started.
fucking
Um,
godfather of them all. I feel like
yeah,
everyone started from like Little Pete.
yeah, exactly. Especially in our little scene, that's
Right.
the biggest inspiration. But I've always been into like that sad boy stuff. Like even if it wasn't like hip hop, um, like I listened to a lot of. There's this one band called Cottonwood Firing Squad.
Man,
Um,
what? Continue.
yeah, um, and it was very melancholic, somber, sad stuff, like with the twinkly guitars and the sometimes hip hop beats in it. And I was kind of, I feel like it kind of connects back to that. But I remember just like, for some reason, I had never been like super into an artist, but when I got into like Lil Peep and started exploring that scene more, it was just something about it was like super captivating. And to this day, I don't know why or what was super interesting to me about it.
If I had to
But
articulate, it probably like at
mm,
least like for me, it was always like the DIY of it. Like motherfuckers in their room,
oh
in
yeah,
their house,
hmm
just making shit and that shit
yeah,
pops off. But
it's
continue.
like literally anybody can do it.
Right.
Um, so I don't remember how I figured out about this, but I remember just being like, I want to make music, but I don't know how. And I like just somehow found FL Studio. And that was like the start of it all. I was like 14 years old. I remember summer 2018. And like the beats I would make were just absolutely awful. I had no idea what like tempo was. I had no clue about anything related to music theory or like what a key was. I was just like
You
going
were
in
just
blind, just
raw dogging that shit.
yeah, exactly. Raw, no rubber.
Raw no rubber.
Yeah.
Yo, and the thing is, like your production and stuff, and your mixing and mastering. I was talking to Cam about it. I was like, he's really
Mm,
fucking good, like industry good.
yeah.
Like, and you're self-taught, like everything self-taught,
Hmm.
no classes, nothing.
No classes, just occasional tips pulled from YouTube. But yeah, everything self taught.
Raw dogged it to the stroke game, got right. I fuck with that. Heavy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, but yeah, you're fucking amazing. And I'm always like, damn, like he really be doing his shit. Like whenever you
Yeah.
put something out, I'm like, damn, like I'm not doing enough. But like it's so good.
Thank you.
Fucking so FL Studio, you didn't know anything
Mm-hmm.
about it and you got better gradually. Is there any more to that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go super in depth because this
Yeah.
would be like a 10-hour podcast, but I remember just working at it and like some of the earliest beats I put out online still weren't cohesive or anything. Like I have some privated tracks on my page that are beats that like aren't on beat. There's literally zero rhythm. It's absolutely horrible. And I remember one day, January 2019, my friend Nick Carino, Nemesis HI, I did a song with him. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
He's hella cool. Yeah. I remember one day we were like, dude, wouldn't it be hella cool if we like went to this teriyaki joint and made beats in the teriyaki place? And I don't know why that was so funny to us, but we were like, yeah, let's do that.
Out of all
And I
spots, a
remember,
teriyaki place.
yeah, it's just like this little teriyaki place on the corner by my school. And I had like my laptop, and I remember Shallow was with me. But we go into this place, and I'm like, yeah, this beat I'm making is like, it doesn't sound right. It just sounds weird. And he's like, did you set the tempo? And I'm like,
What's a tempo?
yeah, but like, like the moment he said that, it's something just
Fucking
clicked. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And he like kind of showed me, and he like showed me how to kind of work around the interface of FL and just kind of getting the basics down. And I was like, okay, I got it. All there is to do is just make stuff and make more stuff and just keep improving. And that was what I did. and I just kept working at it and working at it. And because that was like my hobby, it just like I was like, I need to relax, I need to chill. I'm just gonna lay down in my bed with my crappy little laptop, and I'm gonna make a beat or something. And I would make like five a day, and that was just kind of how like my production and stuff got started. So
Very, very, very fucking inspiring too. Like
yeah,
my only experience with producing is because I use Logic.
mm,
I was like, you know what? Let me see
yeah,
what the fuck I'm doing, and I made this like
mm,
synthy ass, quiet ass beat with like a Beavis and Butthead
yeah.
sample, and that was it. I was like, you know what? I'm not trying this shit ever fucking again.
It's difficult. It's hard to get into.
Fucking
There's a huge learning curve.
oh yeah, for sure. So when I fucking find a good beat, it's like holy shit, this motherfucker like really
Yeah. Mm,
fucking amazing. But going
yeah.
to backtrack a little to like musical inspirations, because I feel like we went off that
Mm.
into FL Studio and
Oh yeah, we
production,
we definitely
which is
did.
fine because there's no
Uh-huh.
right way to do this shit. It's a
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly. Right.
Going back into music thing, fucking inspirations. We're talking about Lil Peep, but like also I want to go in and we were
Hmm.
talking about that band you were talking about that I never heard of, but they have a
Hmm.
dope ass name.
Yeah.
Anything else that's like really like potent and when it comes to your inspirations, like and your sound?
Um, well, I would say like the first maybe year or two, it was low peep, and then I was like, okay, I've kind of exhausted this. I feel like, it was just like I was like, I'm ready to listen to new stuff.
Right.
I had a huge phase. Um, and so I started listening to like, gosh, like, I mean, this isn't super different. I mean, but it is different enough. I was like listening to more like Joji and like especially his older stuff. Um,
Chloe Burbank type shit.
yes. Oh, I love Chloe Burbank. I still want volume two,
Fucking
but yeah, solid stuff. Um,
I remember when he
and
first came out. My fault, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I remember when
no, it's
Joji
okay.
first
It's
came out.
okay.
I've been listening to Joji as really even recently. I came back to him, but like I remember when he was like, obviously everyone knows Filthy Frank. Everyone knows that he went into
Yeah.
Joji, all that shit.
Hmm.
Fucking, and I remember the Chloe Burbank. I don't want to waste my time, all that shit.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited you mentioned that because I was just saying, I was just like, oh
Yeah.
shit. But continue
Yeah.
on.
Um, so I would say it kind of went from like Lil Peep to like Brennan Savage. Within those two are very synonymous with one another, especially because they were like good friends and stuff.
Right.
To like Joji, and then like I would say where it's most like I'm about to name an inspiration was like Bones. Um, he has this alter ego which is like Surrender Dorothy,
I was just listening to that
which
shit like yesterday.
yeah. Hmm. And that's like all super apparent in like my not super old stuff. It's not old at all. It's actually relatively new. And especially on my album Carry On, like songs like The Best I Can Be, Emissary, Dust Clovers. I'm looking at the album right now, like Closing the Door. Those were all inspired by like Surrender Dorothy, and especially my song like Retroactive Bloom. I understand with Kill Fiji.
Shout out.
Um, yeah, of course, shout out. I'm pretty sure Bones even used the beat that I used for that song with Fiji. Um, but that was a huge inspiration. And then eventually I kind of fell out of that. Um, and then I started listening to more like Suicide Boys stuff. Um, and then um, like Harper, really good funk artist. On Average Gang. They're not really funk, but they're more like rap stuff. Um, and then of course like Undead Ronan, shout out.
Shout out Under
He
Ronan.
yeah, he was a huge inspiration for me kind of moving towards more like rap stuff. Like he gave me feedback and stuff and was like he I got to give it to him because he just really gave me the kind of drive to keep working at that, because it was like making rap based stuff is like super fun.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really fun.
a lot more fast
And
paced and shit. A lot more
mhm,
experimentalism.
yeah, and it's like different than, as opposed to the like sad somber stuff, because with the sad stuff, it's awesome. I'm like, oh, my voice sounds really good on this. Like this is a really good song. But then like the rap stuff, you're like, ooh, that goes hard. It's just, they're two different kinds
It's
of
two different
fun.
satisfactions
Yeah,
as well. With
right.
with
Yeah.
sad music, I feel like you're trying to strike a chord within the listener.
Hmm.
But I feel like with rap, it's like most of rap, it's like turn up music. Like it's something that
Hmm.
like just has you in a good vibe.
Yeah, and that's why I love doing both of them. I love them both equally. Um, but I remember I had like a cover of one of his songs, and I remember for the longest time, because I'd always wanted to do rap stuff, even back in like 2019, like when I was going through my little peep phase. I have these awful, awful rap songs that thankfully were never released. But um, yeah, I remember just like struggling to be like, I don't know what voice to use. I don't know how to like come up with good flows and stuff. And I did a cover of one of his songs, which I think I like released on an alternate account or something just for fun. And I was like, and it just, again, it just clicked. And I was like, oh, this is how I do it. And then, I just kept doing it, and practicing and getting better, and that's kind of where I'm at now.
You and Shallow, and then Shallow and you being very heavy into Undead Ronin really is what like exposed me to like funk and like all that shit. I was
Mhm.
not aware of any of that stuff. Y'all were just like, oh
Yeah,
yo, check out this funk type shit. And I was like, funk. I was like, funk? No, funk.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I check it out, and you guys dropped 666, which is doing
Hmm.
amazing, and it's fucking amazing. Like
Thank
so well
you.
done. It's
Yeah,
fucking very like real professional type shit. I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing.
thank you.
And with that being said, I'm like, oh shit, like these motherfuckers got their whole own wave going on. I know it's
Hmm.
like already has like its pioneers and shit, and like there's already bigger artists within funk music, but I'm
Yeah,
like, y'all got this shit going on and y'all got it down packed. And I know Undead
right.
Ronin is like pretty big right now.
Yeah, he is
So
very
y'all are
talented.
killing it.
Yeah, thank you.
To go away from that into talking about not only 666, but the EP you and Shallow have
Hmm.
coming up right now. Tell me a little about
Hmm.
that.
So this is, I'm pretty sure this is something we talked about doing for like years. Like we were always like, we gotta just do like a rap EP. Like that'd be so fun. And then we never, oh yeah, we'd been talking about this since like 2020, like summer 2020. And just nothing ever came of it, because we were focusing kind of on our older style and stuff. Um and just over like the course of the last few months, we were just kind of like making stuff on our own,
Right.
and being like, oh hey, this is good, we should send this to each other. And we just kind of realized we started to develop like a catalog of unreleased songs, or sometimes we would make stuff with each other in mind. And we would like record our verse, and we'd send it over and be like, what do you think of this? And if we were like, oh yeah, fuck with it, then we'd be like, okay, let's do this song. And then now we just have like I said, like this little catalog built up, and we're like, yeah, we like this will go on our EP.
That's
So
dope. That's fucking amazing.
yeah.
It sounds very organic the way it's coming up. Like it's kind
Hmm.
of like
Oh yeah.
it wasn't like, hey, we're doing an EP. It's like, hey, we have a couple of these songs already done. Let's put them
Hmm.
towards the EP. Fucking boom.
Yeah, exactly.
How many tracks are we expecting on the EP?
Let me think. So obviously we got 666. That's like the opening track. um and then we have all the other unreleased ones, and names are still like subject to change. We have this one track, I think it's called Know Our Names. We've got 9 to 5. Um, there's this other like very funk inspired one that I can't remember the name of. Oh, and we got one song called Tartarus, which we're very close to finishing. But just those five are the ones off the top of my head that I remember. Oh, and then yeah, I just remembered another one. There's another one called Reprimand, I believe is what we titled it. So I think we're looking at like 6 or 7, I think.
Yo, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I'm excited that not even only you, but I feel like most of the people within our scene right now are all going through some sort of morphs or changes in their style. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I've seen people taking time off from
100%.
music. I'm seeing people come back right now, whole different styles,
Yeah.
whole different attitudes. My project I have on the way, which should probably be dropped by the time this episode drops, because I'm dropping on a Friday. Even that's a whole different like energy, because that was made in January, a whole new year, a whole new energy. And it makes me very happy because I feel like everyone's moving away from this one sound that I think everyone was kind of stuck on or close to, like the whole like somber, like even Peep inspired type shit. And we're moving towards like a whole new wave and like innovating and shit, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, I was very scared of like changing up my style and stuff because I feel like I had been stuck with one image for so long. And I feel like I shouldn't say change my style because I'm still very deeply connected to that style of music.
Yeah.
But I was just scared to try new things because I was worried about driving people away, which I think kind of has happened a little bit.
I've had the same fears with like my new stuff.
But that's okay. Like that happens, and you shouldn't try to limit yourself and restrict yourself just because you're worried of, how other people might feel about it.
Exactly. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think any fucking, let me move this. It shouldn't bother me. There we go. Just have to do that real quick. I feel like with a bunch of artists that we look up to, they all fucking have like these crazy, what's the word? Drastic changes. And a lot of people, oh shit, I feel like I'm lagging. Anyway, a lot of people with that.
Not.
All right, we're good. Cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people move away from that. And I've even stopped listening to artists because I'm like, I'm not feeling it. But, they end up thriving and finding a whole new demographic with that. And it works.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing. But I want to move on to how I had with Cam, where I want to ask about some of your more notable songs that I enjoy personally. So I want to break down the meat of the whole fucking sandwich, which I want to talk about the album Carry On, which I did the cover art for. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah,
very honored.
Did.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out Mikey.
Shout out Mikey. Yes. I have it up here on my TV so I can keep like a whole fucking look. But we got features from 20. We got features from Fallacy. We got fucking amazing songs. My favorite song personally is Emissary, right? Is that how we pronounce it? Emissary, right? Fucking to this day, I'll still bump it. Like, so I want to go into like the whole like writing process, production, because I know, you're fucking handy with that, mixing, mastering, the whole process. Run me down it. Carry On.
Okay. Well, that whole album, like the inception of it, I think that's the word, was like started in like 2019 because I had like really wanted to do an album, but just like my skill level wasn't there yet, and I wasn't capable of creating like a large number of songs for one project. I was also super impulsive, and if I made a song, I had to like drop it that day. It didn't matter.
I understand you that day. I understand you completely.
So I just, I don't know. It's kind of similar to the process that I'm going through right now with Shallow with our EP. It was super organic. I just started building up a catalog and working with other people, especially like Fallacy. Like I remember we had just met and we were becoming friends. and we both loved each
Shout
other's
out Fallacy.
style. Yeah, shout out Fallacy. Um, and we were like, okay, let's do some stuff together. And I remember our song "Rest My Eyes," which is like the third most played song on the album. Like that one, I think that's like still a pretty good song. Um, I remember that was like the one that we were like, dude, this is so good. Like we bounced off each other really well. You know, our voices went really well together. And I remember he mixed his parts and stuff, and I mixed all my own vocals for the album and stuff. Um, and I think kind of the only song that I made with the intention of going, the only songs I should say that I made with intention of going on the album were like Next Step with 20 and the two songs with Fallacy. I remember it took me so long to build up all those songs because I was like on the fence about a lot of them, like dude, is this good enough to go on this, because I feel like this is kind of like my big project, and you know I want it to be like the very best of what I've made.
Right.
And yeah, I was just super reluctant with a lot of them to actually put them out. But the album was made with like a clear image in my mind, despite it just kind of being like me throwing songs together. So I guess it's more like a mixtape than like a cohesive project. But I remember like the first like fives, it's kind of progressively supposed to get like more and more somber as it goes on.
Which I picked up
Like
on
the
that, like
first,
listening to it a couple times.
yeah, yeah. Um, like the few beginning songs, like I think the first half of the album is like very it's a little bit more energetic, I would say. And then I think there's more like electric guitars and stuff in the beginning of the album, and then once you get to the latter half, it's more acoustic stuff, more like low key drums, kind of more low fidelity mixing on my vocals, more somber melodies and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, like I said earlier, kind of towards the beginning, like a lot of those songs towards the end were very inspired by Bones. And it was just a lot of it was also just me experimenting and messing around.
Which
And
is how we get some of the greatest shit in the scene.
yeah,
Us fucking
yeah,
around.
yeah. And I remember the last song, it's called Losing My Mind. I made the beat for that one. That was actually a remake of an old track I made in 2019. And I remember listening back to the original song and being like, this could be good. Like, this is not a very good song, but it could be good. And I remember like going and remaking the beat and then like redoing the vocals, mixing it. And that might have been the last song I recorded, but I don't really remember. It was either that song or another song called The Best I Can Be, but I don't really remember. But I think it might be Losing My Mind, because the mixing is kind of rough in some spots, because I remember it was like the last day I had to like submit the album so that it would make it to all the stores in time. So I was like really rushing through it just to get it done, and I wasn't really like polishing it or everything, doing all that stuff. So yeah.
Fucking amazing project, by the way. Like I still like will
Thank
put it
you.
on to this day and like really enjoy it from beginning to end, because it's like there's
Mm-hmm.
not too many albums I can do that with personally. Like I'll skim through like my favorite
Mm-hmm.
songs and shit. And it's like, okay, whatever, throw it out, right? But this one is like beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like I'll listen to it and I'm like, he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad. I'm glad that I had to be involved somehow with the cover art. I have some sort of tie to it. It makes me
Yeah.
feel happy and
Yeah.
giddy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm looking at
Yeah.
your streaming services. I feel like your SoundCloud's definitely like way more packed than Spotify leads on to. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which I'm the same exact thing. I want to talk about I Understand with Kill Fiji because I just had it on the last episode, and also I really like the song for the guitar. That's the big thing to me, the guitar.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little about that, the writing process, the whole production of it.
So I don't really remember how I found. Oh, actually, I do. I remember I was like super, super, super into Grief's beats at the time. And I remember there's like all these Grief archive pages on SoundCloud. There's like maybe like 7 archive accounts made by the same guy. And
Damn.
like every page has in like chronological order of like all the beat tapes that Grief has released over like the last 9 years or something like that. It's crazy. Like
shout out Grief.
Yeah, he has released so many beats. It's actually insane. And I remember finding this one and I was just like, oh, that guitar sounds so nice. And admittedly, as a little corny as it is like a love song. And I feel like that's very apparent throughout the lyrics. And it's just kind of about being like, I mean, like, as I say, like being stuck in like a sort of cycle, but having someone like alongside you at the same time and very meta, understanding each other.
Yeah. No, and don't even clam up about it. It's great. I think it's beautiful because I understand it like completely.
Yeah, thank you. And so it's just about 2 people being able to, bounce off of bounce off of one another and, having that connection. And I feel like the same is also pretty apparent in Fiji's lyrics as well, although she could correct me if I'm wrong. Shout out Fiji.
Shout out Fiji. I love her verse, how she comes in. I think one thing Cam does really well is when she's on a feature, the way she comes in is just so efficient. It's so strong and bold. Because my favorite feature of Fiji ever in this world is on Goodbye with 2003. Fucking,
oh my God.
It's so amazing.
So good.
It's so well mixed. It's so well everything. But with this one, the fucking I hate to see you go, or I think that's the lyric, right? Amazing. It's such a fucking, it's so fucking, it starts off running. And I think that's so cool on her part. And I love your lyrics and how fucking, again, well organized, well orchestrated everything is. Like you really be on some like industry shit, like on some like this is like top notch. Like he sounded like he went to the studio.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing song with an amazing message too, because like I'm the same way, especially with love songs. Like that's why a lot of my love songs are either like early on in my discography or duck the fuck off, like private.
Yeah.
But yours has a very good message and I really fuck with it, especially like in my personal life. Like I've been through shit and it's like, oh, it's great to have this person with me. Take that person out the fucking equation. It's like, well, fuck, shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really fucking dope. Going on.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else more do we know or have to say about I Understand? Anything more to understand about I Understand?
I do feel bad that I used a beat that Bones used, but I mean, shit like that happens all the time.
Shit like that does happen, and sometimes people fucking outdo the more notable artists. So sometimes you gotta take a risk to live like this. Fucking amazing. That reminds me of there's a song I like by Wiccaphase called She Doesn't Believe in Delima. And it's literally just like an instrumental from a fucking like alternative band from like whatever fucking year. And
I haven't heard that song before.
Very, very good. You should check it out. I want to talk about now Aura with Undead Ronin. Because I am very foreign to Undead Ronin's whole image, look, music. I'm so foreign to it and I feel so bad. And I definitely need to deep dive into what he does. But I really
Yeah.
like this song, and didn't it perform actually really, really well?
Not so much on SoundCloud, but it did on, I don't want to say super, super well, but it did decent on Spotify, and that was definitely in part because of Ronan. And that makes sense because he has, let's say, 62,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and the song got like almost 5,000 on Spotify. But I didn't really market it that much on SoundCloud. I mostly, and people don't really use SoundCloud that much these days, which
You're
is really
absolutely right.
unfortunate. It really sucks
We hit a
because I feel
decline
like,
since the fucking
mhm,
2016 and 2017.
oh, oh
Fucking
my gosh, for
extreme
sure.
decline.
Yeah, it's super noticeable. And speaking of which, I've kind of been thinking about moving more towards like YouTube and Spotify and that kind of stuff, but because everybody has YouTube and stuff like that, but um SoundCloud is definitely my main platform just because of how like user friendly it is
Right.
and how,
Although SoundCloud was really trying to fuck you with 666. I remember
oh my
they kept taking
gosh,
it down. You were like, yo, fuck SoundCloud. They're fucking
that
not fucking with me right
was,
now.
and that's happened a few times before. It's their copyright system is a joke. It is absolutely infuriating. It I was so mad. But I
Fix
mean,
your
we got
shit,
it back.
SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Yes.
fix it. But we got it back, and that's what matters. And got some
I'm
hype, so
I'm
that's what matters.
I'm the same way. Like SoundCloud is definitely like my main platform. But like I did well
Hmm.
with Loud in the City. That's because fucking Cold Heart's on it. Like, of course it was gonna fucking
Hmm.
do well. But
Yeah.
SoundCloud's definitely like, yeah, my main thing as well. Like, because I feel like
Hmm.
it's not only is it user friendly, but like I feel like it's a little easier to get reached out to by like,
Oh yeah.
demographics. I feel like Spotify's so like detached
Yeah.
from like an audience.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no comments on Spotify, and you can't see who's following you,
Right.
and you can't really. I mean, I don't really know if you can actually, but I don't think you can see like who your listeners are, and
Very, very,
it's
very little. It's like you can see what
yeah.
playlist you're in and you can see who made the
Hmm.
playlist and assume.
Yeah. Hmm. But like you said, yeah, it does feel pretty detached, which is part of the reason I haven't leaned too much into Spotify. But yeah,
Fucking, I wish they would add some sort of like interaction thing between artist and listener on
yeah, me
Spotify.
too.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I think SoundCloud got that well. That's why I like SoundCloud. I
Hmm.
even discovered it. It was like, oh, it's just YouTube for music type shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But go ahead.
we should get back to
Yes,
the
exactly what
song
I
we
was
were
gonna
talking
say.
about.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
let's backtrack back to Aura because we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Aura, Undead
Yeah.
Ronin, the
Yet again.
process, how you guys got into it, how you guys ended up like, hey, let's make this track. Like, give me the rundown.
So this was like, I was like super in my Suicide Boys phase. I still listen to them, but not so much as I was like those few months ago. And um, I was really listening to a lot of their, what's it called? What album is this from? Um, it might be Kill Yourself Part 11. I actually don't know this Roman numeral. Let me see.
They have part
Yeah, it's
11. I
11.
remember Kill Yourself
Yeah.
part 3, and that's
Hmm.
it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But I was listening to that album or EP a lot. It's just 3 songs, but I was listening to that a lot, and I really liked the super like bassy, super aggressive style. And I was like, I want to make something like that. So I made the beat. I remember I just used a bunch of like Looperman samples and tweaked them, and excuse me, made some heavy hitting drums and wrote some lyrics and just kind of, gosh, I don't even remember what my approach was with like figuring out what voice I was going to do, because I've got like the deepest voice in the world, so doing like screaming stuff for me
I
is
was just thinking that right now. I'm like, I'm
but
talking to you, and I'm like, I'm very pitchy myself, and you're like, yeah, so I'm from Washington, and this is what happened, and I'm like, damn.
yeah.
But then when you sing, it's like, what, like I understand it's very much higher, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
continue on.
Um, but I think I just made it. I just did my verse. And I was like, damn, that goes hard. And I was like, who would sound good over this? Ron and I are tight. So I was like, oh, he'd be perfect. So I sent it to him and he sent it back to that man he's quick and he's consistent. He got back to me in probably like an hour within me sending it to him with his part completely done.
He's
And
quick with it.
he is super quick. And um yeah, and it was just like that. It was done. And I was like, okay. And we talked about a release date and we got it set up and then it released and it got some hype on Spotify and I got some people messaging me being like, yo, this goes hard, stuff like that. And yeah,
Which is
very,
great.
very simple,
Exposure.
quick process with that song. Yeah.
Very nice. I got to do more research on Ronan and definitely
Mm-hmm.
even see if he wants to come on the show as it grows. Because right now we're really small, but if it
Oh
grows,
yeah.
so, but that's
Yeah.
awesome. Fucking,
Mm-hmm.
this brought me to another point, but my dumbass just completely forgot it. But it will come back. Oh no, I remember what we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about one of my favorite, not only focus tracks, but shallow tracks. One probably the notable one
Mm-hmm.
is Poison.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do I want to talk about the
Yeah.
song, but I also want to talk about the process of the video because I've watched it so much that it's on my
Yeah.
YouTube, like recommended. Like I go to my music section, it's like, oh, alternative music, Poison. So we definitely have to talk
Yeah.
about it. So give me the rundown for Poison,
Mm-hmm.
Shallow,
Okay.
X Focus.
All right. So I remember it was, I think, late summer 2020, and he had like recorded this short little like 8-bar song. And he was like, and I remember he sent it to me, and I was like, I really like that. And I don't really remember why, but I remember it took me like some convincing to like let him get me on the song because I think he had like someone else in mind to go on it, but it just didn't quite work out. Um, but then eventually he was like, oh hell yeah, let's do it. And so, I wrote all my lyrics and I recorded and he finished recording and or actually no, he didn't finish recording. He was gonna he was gonna come over and we were gonna he was gonna finish recording it at my place. But I remember for some reason like the mixing like sounded really inconsistent and just like not good. So I was like, you just gotta re-record the whole thing. And I remember he really like didn't want to. He was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it to sound right. It's not gonna sound as good as it originally did. And I was like, dude, you got this. And he busted his all of his parts out again in probably like 25 minutes. And I mixed it and I mastered it. And I remember another funny thing about this song was the beat isn't original. It's actually by a person named Descent. And I think what happened was someone bought the lease for the beat and they put like copyright on it. So we couldn't post the song on SoundCloud at all, or it was the same situation with 666. It would just immediately get taken down.
That's
Um,
terrible.
yeah. So I remember I sent the guitar over to my friend and I was like, can you like figure out how this is played and like replay it for me? And he was like, oh yeah, sure, I got you. And he records it and he sends it over to me. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna remake the beat and I took his guitar sample and I took the original one and I like laid them over each other and I completely redid the drums and kind of added in like my own little twists and stuff to the beat, and it got past the copyright system. So that was that was how we did it. Otherwise it would have been the original beat, which was produced by Descent, and it would have been that one. But yeah, and as for the video, I mean, we were just like, this is like our most iconic song yet. So we were like, we have to make a video. And I think it was Halloween night, which is a little fitting. I feel like he comes over, and I still have it right here. This is what we recorded the music video.
What is that, like a
on.
GoPro almost?
It's like an off-brand GoPro.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it was just us literally just playing like the song off of our phone and just us being like, oh yeah, and just getting it
And where was
recorded.
that? Because I was watching and I was like, where the fuck are these two? Like, where they at?
It's in my apartment complex stairwell because I live in an apartment, and the parking garage at my apartment, and then like outside. Those were like the three places we filmed it.
Fucking, it's tough though. It goes with the song so well. I feel like they both
Yeah,
complement each other very well.
It definitely does. Uh-huh. Quick question. This gets edited, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have to go grab something in a few minutes and it'll take like 30 seconds. But
Yeah. I'll like just split it out.
yeah, okay. So yeah, like you were saying, I think it definitely fits the whole vibe of the song. And I mean, even if you like look at the picture of the song that we made, um, it's kind of like blurry, kind of grainy, and I mean, the whole music video is grainy. I mean, you see what this was recorded on.
Yeah. And then also the editing as well is very much like VHS almost.
Yeah. Yeah, the VHS stuff was like all digital. Like I didn't actually like run it through a VHS or anything. It was just like an effect overlay that I added. But yeah,
fucking
that's
amazing.
That song.
Amazing song, and probably one of the more like notable when I think of like Fauxcus and Shallow as like Poison. And then Undid Ruin did that cover too, which was also really, really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll move on to the next topic if you get cut off or whatever, which is fine. Now we're moving towards, we talked about some of your more notable songs from the past. I want to talk about more so what's coming for the future, not even like the new EP, because we did touch on that. But is there anything for like Fauxcus individual work that we have coming up?
Man, let me think. I've very much just been leaning into the stuff with Shallow recently because, as weird as it sounds, we have like such good chemistry that making music by myself, like when he's not around, is like really difficult for some reason. So I haven't, honestly, I can't remember the last time I like made something and I was just like, okay, it's just gonna be me on this, because we bounce off of each other so well, and I feel like our styles complement each other so well that it's like harder for me to make a solo song. And I feel like kind of the same thing applies to him, but I won't speak for him. I mean, I know you're interviewing him at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? No, that's understandable. Especially, I was just thinking of it because I make all my stuff like physically by myself. I'll send it open to someone, they get back to me. That's that. I could only imagine like working with someone in person, which I've yet to fucking do as an artist. Like after that, I'd probably have a really difficult time, like just like sitting here by myself, like with no feedback. Like, which tell us a little, give us a little insight about Shallow as a collaboration partner. Like, how's he like to work with as a person? And then I'll bring this up when I interview him and be like, oh, like work on each other.
All right. I mean, him and I are pretty much like carbon copies of each other. So it's like I mean, we were pretty much like made to be best friends. And I like got him into making music back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. Um, and it's just like it's great to have someone that you like are so in tune with, like not just musically, but also like as a person. Um, and I feel like we work together so well because we're like always on the same wavelength. And like I was saying earlier, we like constantly bounce ideas off of each other. We'll be like, let's do this, let's do that. And I mean, he's insanely talented. He's incredible at writing, and his vocals always great. So I feel very lucky to have like a partner like that. Not partner, but I'm not my partner, but he is my partner in music.
A little bit of a bromance. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, no, we got some bromance going on.
Got some bromance. No, yeah, I'm the same way with my best friends too. It's like romantic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's very good insight as well, because like I was just talking to Cam about it on the last episode. I was like, I worked with Shallow, but we never released a song, and I'm glad we didn't, because I didn't even like my feature on it. And I never worked with you. Like we never put anything out together. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. We know each other for 2 years at this point.
And I haven't made anything no bed yet, which is also really weird.
Yeah, I mean, the first song I just made with Devin was The Mall, and that was a couple months ago. And it's crazy.
Banger song, by the way.
Shout out The Mall. Shout out Novid. Fucking, yeah, it's a fucking, I like how we're all part of this collective, and I'm like, there's still people I haven't worked with in my own collective, like my own bubble.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely have to do that. Definitely have to work on that. Shame on us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I did want to talk about, because I was going through, while you were away, I was going through more discographies, not even like on your discography, but like on Shallow's and shit. And I completely forgot about Prophecy, you, Shallow, Undead Ronin. Since we talked about Shallow and we talked about Undead Ronin both separately, I figured let's talk about this track with all three of you, like the fucking holy trinity on this song.
Right.
Just give me the rundown, even if it's only of your part. If you have insight on both of them, great. Otherwise, I'll probably ask them about it in coming interviews.
Yeah. So I think the one who got it was Shallow who got the song started. He recorded like his little opening verse and he sent it to me. He was like, I feel like this is like one of the most unique sounding songs I've made. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. And I remember I was driving somewhere and I had him like on FaceTime, like on my little like car phone holster thing. And we were just talking about the song and he was like, who would sound good over this? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, oh, Ronan. And I was like, oh yeah. And so he finished his part and he sent it over to Ronan, gets back to him like 45 minutes later, already finished.
Fucking quick, like that.
Yeah. And he's like, do you want to hop on this? And I'm like, hell yeah. And so I remember I wrote my verse like pretty late at night. And I was like so excited to record because I just knew I was about to go off on that track. And I couldn't be loud late at night. So I just was like anticipating the next day because I like wanted to race home and get it recorded.
Yeah.
And I got home and busted it out in probably like 20 minutes. And I sent it over to him and it was done. And that's how that song came to be. Kind of the same process as my other songs with other people.
I brought this up to Cam and I don't think she felt the same way. I don't know if you do. I'm going to ask you on different insight. How do you feel like, because personally for me, I feel like features are always a little bit more fun because it's a little less work than putting on your whole fucking like own song.
I feel like if if you're working with someone who you like really want to work with, then it'll be fun. But I like back before I kind of knew my worth, I'd say, and I would just collaborate with everybody who reached out to me.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun because my plate got so full that I was just like it was like because I'm microphone shy. I don't like recording with people around, and I still live with my parents. So
Yeah.
I remember it was like at the start of quarantine, I had like so many people who wanted features from me, and I was just like, I can't do this.
It's like,
It was so difficult because I was like, everybody's home all the time. I'm not even passionate about this song. I don't really
yeah, it's just being like
I
flung
don't
at
really
your
want to
face.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
That,
it was just like that was kind of the point in time where I was like, okay, if so many people want a feature, then I should start charging for it. And that was when I did. And I'm glad I started doing that.
what's your price for a feature anyway, for those out there interested?
Just for like anybody, like if we're cool and we've made a song before, or if like we're tight, like someone like you, I wouldn't charge for a feature. But if it's just some random person, like $40.
Which is fair enough because you do a
Yeah,
efficient job.
right.
Very rightfully so. No, yeah, because people will be like, "Oh, let's collab, bros, collab, bro." They throw that shit in your face like a fucking animal, and then
Mm-hmm.
you listen to this shit, and you're like, and if the chemistry's not there and that style's just not there and it's just
Mm-hmm.
not there, it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? You try
Yeah,
it, you're
exactly.
like, this shit's ass, but you just send it out because you're like, fuck
Mm-hmm.
it, I said I'll do it, and then yeah, I
Yeah,
understand that
exactly.
completely.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking terrible. What
Mm-hmm.
the point I just remembered I want to talk about earlier and I completely forgot about is that you, unlike many probably like many people who make music, you actually put effort into like your vocals and like improving on them, like practicing fucking whatever the fuck falsettos and sopranos and whatever the fuck
Mm-hmm.
you like. Tell me about that because I remember you posted something the other day and it was like you like practicing and it was just like it was like funny because
Mm-hmm.
when you posted it, but I was actually like really seriously
Oh
intrigued.
yeah,
I
I
was
remember
actually,
that.
I was, you were like, ah! I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm actually
Yeah.
really seriously intrigued in the whole process of improving on that.
Right. Um, well, I sing literally all the time. Like like I was saying earlier, I'm like microphone shy, but if like I'm just walking around my house, it doesn't matter if my parents are home. I'll just be like singing, like in the shower, washing my hands, walking around, doing whatever, making dinner,
Yeah,
doing literally anything. I would just be like singing, and I feel like just like oh, and also sometimes I would go into my car and I would practice a lot. And I mean, I don't want to say I'm like super good at singing because I'm not like classically trained or anything, but I feel like I'm like decent for someone who's like self-taught. And I
yeah,
feel like just hours and hours of just walking around doing whatever and just like singing, I feel like it helped a lot,
for
especially
sure.
because I was like actually trying to get better and stuff.
I think yeah, if you put in fucking any hours of vocal training, I think you're already a couple hours ahead of like 99% of the people making music like in
Mm-hmm.
our scene and even in general. Like
Yeah,
unless you're like pop star famous like Katy
right.
Perry shit, like
Mm-hmm.
which is fucking
Right.
amazing. And that's a whole different dedication that I wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
aware of. All this motherfuckers out here like I don't know what the fuck these like a soprano and a
Yeah.
falsetto and a fucking blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is all this?
Yeah,
Fucking
and I was like super um I was like afraid to like lean into doing like falsetto stuff and more high pitched stuff because I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good or it's not cool. Like rock stars don't sing in falsetto.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they do, but I didn't want to for some reason. And then when I started listening to more like Surrender Dorothy stuff, I was like, that sounds really good. and I did like some covers of like Bones songs and stuff like that that I never released. But I was like, you can make it sound good, and you can make it work in this style. And that's when I started doing more stuff like that and practicing.
Fucking dedicated. I didn't
Mhm.
realize how big of an influence Bones and like, because I started listening. I don't even really listen to Bones like that, but I started listening to his Ultra Ego, Surrender Dorothy. And the
Mhm.
first thing I
Yeah.
thought of when I listened to it was like 20. That's like who I really thought of when I was like,
Mhm.
this reminds me a lot of 20. I didn't realize how big of an inspiration he had on our scene. Like, because I'm a little out of the loop
Yeah.
sometimes. I was like, holy
I
shit.
would say Bones is the godfather of underground rap. Like him and Young Lean and I think Peep, I would say, are like
If
the pioneers.
if you had to make a Mount Rushmore of those pioneers, like who would the four be? Really got to put some thought into it
Yeah,
because there's so many.
obviously, yeah, definitely Bones is one of them. I think definitely Young Lean. Um, man, I feel like there's some artists that I've been like, oh, they're obviously like way ahead of their time. Like Kanye's like 808s and Heartbreak. I mean, it sounds very different from like the modern sad boy stuff, but like it's still there. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 808s and Heartbreak.
yeah.
Um,
Me and Cam were talking about like how innovative Kanye was to like the whole like even though obviously he was in the industry because there was no SoundCloud when he came up, but
mhm.
I was like him, Soldier Boy, Kid Cudi, people like that like really set
Oh
the
yeah,
wave that we still ride to this day.
yeah, exactly. I totally forgot about Kid Cudi.
Fucking that whole like come up through the internet type shit, come up through YouTube,
Hmm.
come up through SoundCloud,
Yeah.
even fucking MySpace was like that whole
Hmm.
fucking people like even like people like Max B, which he's a fucking like
Oh yeah.
fucking and little B, two B's, anywho. But like
Hmm.
fucking people that really like weren't even like crazy in the scene and they inspired so many people in this like whole
Hmm.
fucking
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why it's so hard to definitely form a Mount Rushmore because it depends, I think, on what
Hmm.
demographic you're looking at.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with our scene, I definitely think it's like Bones, Young Lean, Peep, and like the fourth one could be up for debate. A lot of people would say
Yeah.
X. A lot of people would say X. I'm not sure, but it's definitely like I know Bones, Lean, Pete
Yeah, for
for
sure. And
our
if you were
scene at
like,
least.
yeah, and if you were looking at like funk and like shadow rap, like
Yeah,
Three
and
Six Mafia would be up there and
yup,
stuff like that.
very
So
much that whole Memphis rap scene,
mhm.
which is crazy, and I think that's so dope about music in general and different demographics. It's just so fucking vastly like, and you see how it all comes to one and makes a whole different
Right.
fucking scene. And
Yeah.
to this day, I
Hmm.
still find artists that like I haven't listened to, and I listen to them, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this person I listened to really fucking was inspired by this whole sound, and like I wouldn't have known it.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
But with that being said, Mount Rushmore, Young Lean, Bones, Pete. I think we'd probably I'd say X for our scene in general.
Yeah.
Fucking that's
That's kind of
so
who I was thinking.
yeah. But in general, I have no clue. Like when it comes to like music in general, it's so vast.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
Yeah.
vast.
Hmm.
That was the insight I want from you too, because you're very much like to me, like Fauxcus, Luke, like a music guy, like a music guy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
definitely insight I wanted from you.
Hmm.
Bringing us to our next segment, which is not even in my head yet, because we're unscripted, uncensored, and unfucking ba 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 ba. I want to talk about any possibilities because I asked Cam about it, and Cam was like, "Don't ask me about an album." So I'm like, "All right, let's ask Luke about an album." It's like, when are we possibly, besides like this EP, the next Fauxcus album, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? When do you think we might even get one if we are?
I feel like when I feel more when I feel like I've found more of something I'm comfortable doing consistently, that an album could become a possibility. I haven't thought about doing a full-length album in forever. I've I've had ideas for EPs, and I did have an EP which was going to come out like probably over half a year ago, that was going to be called Retroactive, which is the name of a song I have out now. But eventually, because that EP was going to be very, very personal and very much so me spilling my heart out and talking about things that were very personal to me. And eventually, I just became not so passionate about the idea anymore. And because the EP was supposed to be like 3 or 4 songs that were all supposed to have like a coherent storyline. Excuse
me. It gets very finicky, I assume. Like very much like you want it to correlate very well.
Yeah. And eventually I had made like 2 songs, and I just kind of realized like I don't really have anything more to say. So I just kind of brought everything together into one song, and that's where the song Retroactive came from. So that's kind of what remained of that idea for an EP.
Which is fucking, I remember you were like, oh yeah, I'm working on EP Retroactive coming soon. And then you know what? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I completely forgot about that. I remember the song. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, obviously fucking it's so unpredictable being an artist and what the future holds. Yeah. So I think that's why the album question is always very, not even controversial, but it's always like varying on the answer, because some people are like, oh, I got an album coming out next week. Some people are like, shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm making an album. So we're looking forward to Fauxcus singles coming like within the next years, which is very fair.
Yeah, I definitely don't think an album will be anytime soon.
Which is very, very, very fair. Fucking, I don't know. A funny thing I fucking remembered that I was gonna mention during the Poison segment when you were talking about Retroactive. Where do you get a John F. Kennedy tank top? Where the fuck?
There was just something that was so funny about that to me. And then I literally just looked up like John F. Kennedy tank top on Amazon and ordered one for like $8.
Yeah, like I remember you were like, oh yeah, for Halloween I dressed up as JFK. I think that was like what you said. I was like, this motherfucker. And I don't know why it popped on my head when I was thinking about the video. I was like, this motherfucker's wearing a JFK tank top with a flannel. Yep. Fucking fashion icon. So inspirational.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is gonna bring us close to our wrap up, which the question always is for the wrap up, I think, is like focus. We talked about the name, we talked about the image, we talked about notable songs, collaborations. We fucking try to summarize as much as we could. What in the near future do you want to talk about coming up for Fauxcus? And it doesn't have to be music related. It could just be in your personal life, anything with school, anything with your fucking car, with music, fucking family, anything. Go for it. Let us know what's going on in your life and what we got coming up.
I graduate high school in like 2 months. Cannot wait. I'm so over it. I hate school. I'm so done.
I fucking hated high school. Yep.
So I'm very excited to graduate, and this is connected to music. I feel like for so long, because of my environment, I've been like super restricted on being able to represent myself as an artist. So I feel like once I graduate and, eventually I get out of where I am, then I feel like I can truly tap into my full potential as an artist. So definitely be on the lookout for that, guys.
I felt you on that one, especially like I think image wise, like, how many things I want to do with my image and my musical image, and like I want to do some weirdo shit, and I know my parents will look at me like, what the fuck are you on?
Yeah.
So I very much feel you on just holding back until you get like that sense of like freedom to where you like full out butterfly. I feel you.
Yeah, 100%.
Very much cool. Anything else that we have to add to? Anything going on coming up? in the near future. We covered high school, which I feel you. I fucking hated high school, and that hatred of high school transferred into college because I didn't know what I was doing for college, and I ended up dropping out. But I digress. Anything else coming up for Fauxcus, Luke? Either or.
Honestly, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Which is fine. I think you covered up more than enough.
Yeah, I'm just floating through life, doing my best.
Yes, sir.
I got a job. I'm making some money. I'm about to graduate. You know, what else can I do?
Things are on the incline for Fauxcus.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think things are on the incline for people in general. Like I was talking to Cam about in the last episode, I was like, everything looks pretty good for everyone right now.
Yeah.
There was a time period, especially during the quarantine and after quarantine, where I feel like we were all kind of just like drained.
Oh yeah.
Musically drained, personally drained, too much shit going on. And we were just like, fuck, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I feel like this New Year's bring a lot of new energy and a lot of blessings for all of us.
Oh, for sure. 100%. We can't wait to see what's in store for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to wrap it up, thank you for sitting here with me for over an hour eating your fucking ravioli.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you on. I'm glad to have film our second episode. And hopefully,
glad to be here.
Hopefully we build more exposure. People will be like, oh shit, let me go check out Fauxcus. Fauxcus fans are like, oh shit, let me go check out Mikeymcchoppa. Who the fuck is he? All of that. Cult of Personality podcast hosted by Mikeymcchoppa, unscripted, uncensored, unfucking the revolution will not be televised. All that fun shit that I like to say. Thank you for sitting here with me. I'm glad to have had you. And that's it. That's the whole process. We'll see you on the next episode. I don't know who the fuck we're having. All right. But we'll see you next Monday. Mikey Monday. Thank you for staying and listening, people out there, whoever the fuck you duck. And that's it. We're gone. We're done. Have a good one. Good night. Good evening. And peace out, y'all.